Let me record it before I forget. I love your background. Is that something you made?
This is City Skylines, and this is a city I built probably in 2022 during the end of the lockdown. I found city building very cathartic, relaxing.
Yeah, awesome. All right. Lori's here. Lori, can I make you a co-host, please? And then you can keep an eye on the people here.
Yeah, sure.
All right. And on the chat, as always. All right. Anyone else wants to introduce yourself or share your project?
Hi, my name is Tink, and I have been working in Horizon Worlds, and then I host a meeting once a week for women in workrooms, but now we've moved to Fluid. And then I also opened and started the Artist District in the Multiverse, which is also closing. So I have three apps closing at once.
Oh, I didn't know
All right.
that.
I'm trying to sort of reorganize myself, and I've never worked in Unity, so
Oh,
excited to learn more. And I've been working with Paige for the last 2 years, but we went to college together, so we've known each other for many, many years.
I see. Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that. I've seen Multiverse ever since they opened up a while back. They were advertising in Outspace.
Yeah.
Remember that? They had like Outspace World and then they were building their own. I remember that, yeah.
We've been working on archiving those through the Virtual Worlds Museum. So if you
Yeah.
have multiverse worlds, reach out to Julian at the Virtual Worlds Museum. We've built a tool to help archive some of that at least.
Oh, great. Yeah. We were the first district in the multiverse, so we grew really fast, and they built us lots of amazing sculptures. And
Yeah.
Nice. Nice.
it's
Yeah, there's a lot of cool work to archive, and we want to make sure to capture it and have those videos at least be an artifact, even if some worlds disappear.
Mhm.
okay. I'll figure out how to connect with you later.
Yeah, Allison Morano and Julian Reyes are really the Virtual Worlds Museum is the place to go.
Okay, well, I know Allison, so I'll work with her.
I'm happy to help connect you to Julian,
Thank you, Paige.
of course.
All right, so feel free to connect with each other in the chat. Send your LinkedIn's and all that stuff. Lori, did you want to say something?
Oh, nope, but
Oh no?
excited for to hear all the
Yes.
developments.
All right. So, for everybody who's new here, welcome, welcome, welcome. We kind of circling, rotating around each other for like years and years and years as new people come and go, and then there's a core group leaving. But one thing is kind of apparent right now, especially with Horizon shutting down, that we all for ourselves, right? I got it when Altspace shut down. I said I'm not stepping my foot into a third-party platform anymore. And that's where I put all my energy, all my uh, talents. And I had a team of engineers. We had maybe 5 or 6 engineers working on this whole thing. So these are not just like hobbyists. It's like real engineers. We shipped several apps. We shipped a very big enterprise project. I'm under NDA, so I can't really openly publish it. So I'm like really frustrated about it, but it's a cool project that helped us to push it. And what you're gonna see in this whole ecosystem and this whole framework was built by us, and we just keep investing money into this community constantly. All right, so and also feel free to chat. I'll send the questions in the chat, and Lori will interrupt me um, when needed. So what we're gonna be talking today a little bit, I'm gonna give you an overview. Our website called Vertex Form 3D. So we're building open source framework for virtual reality applications. Right now we are true cross-platform because we are releasing desktop support. And while we were working on the desktop support, we also made sure that we left the avenue for web. So web, of course, it's our priority at this time. But for us, it was very important to start with the VR. So what I would feel is I was like this the gold miner that worked on the depths of VR, like trying to find my way out to the web. So we're very close, right? We're getting very close. So we're gonna tie it everything together, hopefully. hopefully soon if there's no surprises with the web. But one great news we got from Cesium, so this was our biggest roadblock, that they released web GPU support. So that was our biggest problem. And apparently this was resolved. So we're like crossing our fingers, there's going to be no surprises. We have a tutorial page. Also want to warn you a little bit that this release today is fresh off the press. Yesterday, up until very late, we were working with engineers to push all the latest updates to you. So the tutorial is pretty up to date. It was slight variations that I'm going to go over today. So this is going to be still good. And I'm going to be updating it over the weekend. And this is pretty easy to do. I know that for people who don't know Unity, honestly, at this time, you don't even have to do much except for your own customization, right? Your own environments, your own worlds. All the engineer, all the backend, all the coding is taken care of. And then the testing, how to make a first build, how to add scenes, and everything is explained here. And I know I've asked many people, there's several apps already been built using that approach. Any questions so far?
No questions yet. Some nice introductions in the chat.
Good. Okay, so yeah, if you want to send the link to Vertex Form 3D tutorials, and then they can kind of have it on hand. The first thing that what we're working at is with the GitHub repository. So it kind of looks a little scary, but I want to let you know that it's like going to the gym, right? Like we were so used to everybody feeding us this easy, build your world and publish, and but like that's gone. Like nobody's there for us. We know Unity is there for us for 20 years. It's in business of gaming. It's an engine that is in the business of gaming. It's not social media platform. It's not Google search that's now throwing all the Gemini, web-based something XR, whatever. They can throw in $1 billion and they shut it down. They don't care. So Unity has been in business for this particular reason. We also have to be prepared for a lot of time, right? Like Unreal, Unity, and 3GS. So those are the stable engines that we are we should be keeping an eye on and trusting. So Unity is one of them. So we're working with Unity. So what is this? This is exact Unity package that you need to start the app, right? That has all the XR, it has the desktop, it has everything that you need. And here we've been working with desktop, but you don't need this branch right now. Developer release, this is where we pushed everything yesterday. This is updated. The way to start it, again, you can refer to our tutorials, how I am explaining how to do it. The first thing you will have to do is the installation. To install it, we're gonna have another meetup on how to use GitHub Desktop to collaborate between the teams. We already talked about it because it's very important. But for now, you can just download zip, unpack it, unzip it somewhere, like close it to your drive, like the D drive. This is where I'm using. And then from there, you will have to go and copy assets, packages, and project settings. So those 3 folders. And then you would go, like, for example, I'll show you, this is my D drive. So this is the app that I'm working with. This is the fresh one I did yesterday. So this is how it's going to look. Whenever you have the zip folder, you unzipped it, keep it there. This is fresh. This is clean. It's already sitting on your computer. So you would go copy asset package project setting and name your app. Like, let's say, I don't know, Garden of Eve. I don't know, whatever your app is. And then you go and then just paste, right? Those 3 folders, and then you paste them there, right here. So this is gonna be the foundation of your app. Now, you will have to be, again, if you have never tried Unity, maybe look up some tutorials. I do want to create a course if I have time on like proper use of Unity, but there's a lot of tutorials even online on Udemy how to use Unity, maybe something basic. But the first thing you will have to do is get Unity Hub. Lori, if you can drop where they get Unity Hub from Unity website. And then we updated our Unity version Now it is 311 F1. So this is our newest. Why am I so, okay, there. This is the one because Unity kept flagging all that our packages. I went in the panic mode because I was like, what's going on with my packages? And then it was like, oh, Unity is flagging them incorrectly. So we're like, okay, let's switch the Unity version. And now we're using 6.3.11 F1. So we recommend this Unity version. Once you install that Unity version, once you have your Unity hub open, then you will say add project from disk, and then you would go and find where that thing was. Where was my stuff? I think I put it here. Like this, right? So remember, this is gonna be 3 folders, and you will be just keep it and then click open. Once you start opening it, then it will appear here, and you will select the platform. Like for example, you want to start with Windows or Android, right? So this is like, oh, another thing that makes sure that when you're installing, this is very important because we spend a day troubleshooting something, and we're like, oh, okay, we're missing one thing. When you have add module, when you're installing your Unity version, make sure that you have Windows LLCP installed. This is important, right? Because if you don't have it, you're gonna not be able to make a desktop build. For us, we like everything works in the Unity editor, but once we make a build and nothing works, like what's going on, so spend the whole day, and it turns out that we need this package to work. And then Android. So Android SDK, and then window build IL2 CCP support. So those modules have to be included in your install. Any questions?
I wasn't sure if it was a question, but Joanne Chambers mentioned Mac versus PC issues. Was there a question there, Joanne?
Yeah, I'm just trying to understand what I can do on a Mac and what I can't do based on, most of your stuff is on Windows.
So our stuff is cross-platform, right? We all of our engineers have PCs. That's why we kind of tested. But we have one community member, Mark. He's working on the Mac, and he's using the framework to build all his stuff. So he's using Mac. I can ask him. I can see how he was able to do it, but I don't think he was running into the problem. The way to make a build on a Mac might be a little different because they will require Xcode to compile everything, but we can look into it. We can create kind of new, workflow on the Mac. But we can tag Mark, huh?
Is he in the Discord?
He is in Discord, yes, and Mark and some other guy, forgot his name, but they both were talking about Mac as well. So, but try to install all of that and try to work, and then we can walk through with any issues. Okay, so once you install it, once you open everything, it will be empty scene. Will be empty. There will be nothing. But then what you have to do is go to Vertex Form 3D scenes, Vertex Form 3D scenes, and then there will be login scene, right? So this is where all your stuff begins. And then everything's customizable, right? Like it's not like Altspace, everything cooked for Altspace. It's all customized. You remove this logo. We appreciate if you leave it, like not this logo. We might put something like powered by Vertex Form 3D or something like that because we don't want to be visible. We do want people to know that we made it. But everything is customizable. The skybox, pretty much Unity is the magic box. It's just outstanding engine that you can do whatever you want. One thing I want to show you. Any questions so far again?
Nothing new yet.
Okay. What I think I'm gonna do, I know Laurel, she's not here, right, Laurel? I think she's traveling. She's been sick a little bit.
Oh no, I did not see her yet.
She was traveling. Yeah, she was having some health issues. Anyway, so I want to kind of backtrack. No, not backtrack. Forward track a little bit and show you the build that I made yesterday. So this is the fresh of the press, the desktop support. And I'm going to show you how to make this and how that works, like what you get out of the box. So this is the kind of core what do you call, like, core framework. Again, right, everything customizable. You can connect with the name. In VR, you can have hand tracking. We have hand tracking. You don't need controllers if you don't want, or you can have controllers. So we have all of that. You put your name, or you connect anonymously. So since I am on a desktop, I can rotate, and it's all out of the box, guys. You don't have to do anything except for getting your API key for Photon. I'm going to explain. Once you're in the home environment, you get UI. You get change your avatar. We have 10 avatars, and Lori knows that we spent a couple of months integrating Ready Player Me, and that was another blow for me personally. We spent money, we spent time. Then we had to remove everything. We broke everything again. We have to rebuild everything. It was just a mess. And I was like, I don't want to integrate anybody else's stuff anymore. So we're going to be trying to build our own avatar system, which is going to be more advanced than this. But right now you have 10 avatars. By the way, to everybody, fans of Allspace, faces are from Allspace. I just Googled Allspace and I photoshopped the faces on the bodies. So there you go. Okay.
And these are all you can update, you can add your own.
Yes, by the way, Lori, you're gonna be happy because we did something that's gonna make it easier. So I'll show you.
Woo!
Another thing that we have is that you can start it and then it will go into favorites. Kind of sort of like what Allspace had. You can sort them by your categories. You can create your own categories. You can sort your categories however you want. Then we have information. So there's going to be a place to put this info in there. I'm going to show you. And then what else? And then and then all of these environments you can use them, right? These are all free assets that we built. Either I build them, nothing fancy, nothing like overboard. That's not how I build for my clients, but this is just basic stuff. Then we have our first environment, Campfire. And this is the new, again, this is first time I'm sharing it.
Woohoo!
Isn't it cool?
It's awesome.
I know, I'm so excited. And then this is all works with VR. So yesterday we were testing. I was in VR. Nishal was in. We were like testing cross this and that. You first VR come, guys. You have no idea how many problems we have. You have no idea. It was like VR to desktop works, desktop to VR doesn't, or VR to VR works, so VR to desktop doesn't. Like I can hear you, I cannot hear you. It's like oh my gosh, I'm telling you. So how cool is that? Look, settings, and in VR, the same UI, but it's gonna be just floating inside in front of your face. This is on top of it, so you can do emojis, you can you can heart, whatever you want. Then we have megaphone. This was also another thing we were fixing yesterday, but it's fine. It works. Another thing, if the fly mode is disabled, you're going to get this message. Fly mode is disabled. That's disabled by the creator, by you. So you can be deciding which environment you want fly or you don't want to fly. We have selfie stick. Selfie stick is not 100% working on the desktop yet. You can rotate it, but we need to add a button to take a picture. Right now it doesn't work, but you can just grab it, whatever. We'll fix it. Then what else we have here? Mute megaphone. So this is gonna be audio that everybody can hear from far. Distance grab. It's kind of I don't know if it's useful on a desktop, but in VR, it's something that you toggle on if you don't want to bend and pick up something, you want to grab it from distance. So that's kind of like short grab or long grab. And then another thing we added, microphone choice. So we noticed that the camera was grabbing random microphones, was not working, and oh my gosh, that was also another ordeal. So hopefully this fixes it. And again, guys, we are, developing. We need your help to help us figure out problems so we can fix them. So another thing is the menu. The main menu is here. Places is the same, right? So places, guide, this is guide how to use VR. I think it's fine for now. And then
I think
this,
it's really nice. It looks like the 3D immersive version kind of mapped really nicely to the screen space. That's awesome.
yeah. Any questions, comments?
Lots of people saying awesome and wonderful. And Fatima mentioned how this whole interoperability is a serious problem in the XR space. So
Yeah.
I think they agree you're solving a really important problem here.
Yep. So see, this is first and third person control, so you can zoom in. I don't know why I'm not jumping into first person. I'm gonna check in. Yesterday you were like fixing it because I wanted to have a little smoother experience to jump into my body. Oh, there I am. Okay. 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 Works. So what else do I want to show you here? There's games. So games is where one of our Discord member, he's just obsessed with this space because he's constantly grabbing things there. Because it's packed. It came from Unity Interaction Toolkit example, and we just using it for whatever. Hard on desktop, but look how what we did, so cool. If you look at where the fly is off, so if I come closer, you'll see grab items. So everything that's grabbable, you can press G, and then you can grab it. G, like this. And then you can L, left hand, you will rotate it, or right hand, you will be rotating right hand, like this. Or like G, and then
Wow. Ah, you're gonna be able to juggle.
anyway. So this is kind of overview of what you get out of the box. Any other questions?
Fatima says, can the G be above the grabbable item? Better UX?
I thought that I thought about that. We can look into it. If there's any if there's any requests, we have Discord. If you can, anybody share the link. And then there's feature requests. So if you drop it there, it will be easy for us to keep track of that.
And Evie, correct me if I'm wrong, but one of the benefits of using Unity and with your framework is that if you have the skills to add like a UI that pops up on proximity, you can do it. Like Evie's not building anything that will block you from using any of Unity's built-in features, right?
No, I would only recommend to do that if you know what you're doing. Like for us, as artists, it's hard to make tweaks. So what we want to do is create this swappable system. Like for example, we're gonna start working on a more advanced version. Like for example, for my other app, World Expo, you guys know I'm in travel. I love geography. All my stuff is passion is travel. So that's what I'm building. World Expo is my passion project, and for that, I will need like advanced map. So that advanced map will have lots of features, the map and swappable and events, all that stuff. So we want to make sure that it's like not overriding, it sits on top of it. And then if somebody would say, I'm a UX designer, I don't like I'm going to put it for sale, I'm going to create my own UI and I'm going to put it on the marketplace, right? So we want to create a marketplace for creators. I cannot possibly take care of all of the desires, all of the needs, right? And I don't have skill set for all of that, a lot of that. whoever has skill set, you can create snippets of games, you can create snippets of UX, UI, interactivity, all that stuff. And then we kind of start slowly building this like ecosystem where people can come. It's like shopping. Let me go shopping for my own app. So this is kind of the idea. Any other questions?
Yeah, I mentioned that the block you're not blocking anything, because that's kind of a problem when you're bringing things over from like spatial. They had a lot of like third party APIs or whatever that you like really had no visibility into, and so everything broke if you tried to like add your own stuff to it, and it didn't work. But your framework just enables stuff. It doesn't block stuff.
No. All right. So once now I hope it's clear like how that looks. And just imagine what we just showed you is the same thing, but it's in VR, right? Your body splits, and everything synced. Okay, so when you get the project, you will have this SDK. It is, guys, it's growing. I used to be able to talk about it in like 30, 40 minutes. Now it's growing. I'm like, this needs a whole course, but I'm going to try to go over it quickly. Project setup. We have explaining how to do your project setup. Again, we're going to be explaining it more in details in the tutorials. Right now, all I want you to be able to download it, get your own API key, start building your apps and environments. This one, you're gonna put your company name, your product name, your app name, right? Like what's the app is gonna call. So the company name is not gonna show up on the app itself. It will be in the description. And then you're gonna add your logo, whatever logo, and then just make sure that this logo is square. This is what's gonna be showing up on the icon when you make your build. And then over here, you don't really have to do much yet before publishing it. So just these things. Then the Open Fusion app settings. Let me make sure that I have it blocked a little bit. So this is important, right? So those API keys, you're not going to be able to use the app, or you cannot be able to test it until you put your own API keys from Fusion. And this is going to be easy because Photon, we're using Photon. We're not in the business just yet of multiplayer engine. We're using something that has been in years and years and years and years, and everybody's using it. Most of the people using it. So Photon, they can be scaled to like 10,000, 100,000 users, however many you want. With the this API key, you're gonna get 20 free users, and there's a little catch I'm gonna show you right now. So once you create, you're gonna have to create twice. First, you're gonna create Fusion 2. This is gonna be for multiplayer. Once you create this app, you will be given this API ID, and all you do is just copy it, and then go back to this setting and then put API Fusion right here. And then the voice will be here. And then once you do the voice, you have to create new app. You have to go to voice right here. Once you do the voice, also name your app and create app. Then it will give you a second ID. It will say voice, right? So the voice will be copied. Just make sure I am constantly switching them, so don't mix it up. Voice goes into voice, Fusion goes into Fusion. And then you should be able to start testing. You can go ahead and do Cesium as well. This is for geospatial. If you don't need geospatial, you can skip that step for now.
And just to be clear, the cesium geospatial means like you can have real world data in there, right?
Yeah. That one, something we also have a proprietary fixes, not proprietary, I wouldn't say proprietary, but we fixed a lot of stuff to make it work. In
Nice.
VR.
Custom is a good word for
Custom
that.
stuff, but I'm excited about the web support because I've been bugging them, and I have this guy, he's on web GPU team at Unity, so he texted me personally from Unity because they know how much I was like begging now. I was like, okay, here's my, like, check it out, it's web GPU. I'm like, yay, finally. We're gonna
So cool.
we're gonna start working on it. We're already working on it. So
But
next,
the geospatial stuff is optional.
yeah.
Okay.
So next, any questions?
Nothing new yet.
Once you set up your Fusion, so this is the only thing that you really have to set up, and then you can go start connect and start testing, and then start customizing it. Just make sure that everything working, that you can switch environments, everything is working. Now, I want to show you all of our good stuff. The newest added platform selection. So the platform selection, it looks so easy, guys. Months of work and months of work. Drop down menu, select between VR and desktop. On start, when you get the package, it's gonna be sitting on VR. So don't forget to switch to desktop. Without that, you will be stuck on VR. On VR. Another thing is important is that you have to be sitting on Windows. So if you want to make a build on Windows, you have to be sitting on Windows, right? Not on Android. And then once you're done, that's it. That's pretty much it. That's the only thing you have to do. And everything is being split on the back end.
That's nice. And so those instructions right there describe exactly what you just said. So
Yep.
go to edit, build profiles. So you don't have to memorize this stuff. It's in
Yep.
there.
Mm-hmm. So for this is this might be a little bit tricky because I kept tripping on this so many times. I kept like, why is my stuff not working? But this is another thing when you're testing on when you are on Windows and you are trying to test it through the headset. You have to have initialize external startup. See how it's checked off? So if I put because it's brand new, I just installed it yesterday. For the link, when you test on the link, you have to click this on. Then you'll be able to be connected to the desktop and then it will play in your VR headset, right? So this one is gonna trip you a little bit. But again, if you run into problems, send us a Discord message. Been there, done that. Okay, so next, so you selected that, let's say you're doing the desktop, then you wanna start editing your worlds. You don't want my worlds. You want your own worlds. Either you can use AI. I showed last week how to use Blender with Claude. One other next thing I want to try using Claude with Unity. I haven't done it yet, but we'll try. It's not a magic wand. You still have to do work. You still have to know what you're doing. But for beginners, like I know I saw Paige doing flowers. You can do flowers. My kids did unicorns and rainbows and stuff. So, and it looked pretty good. I mean, for the skill set. So, Lori, look at this. This is a brand new main map UI. How do you edit the main map?
Nice.
Still work in progress. I just noticed a couple of things that we can improve. But so what happened before this update, we only had this section and you couldn't really update the about, like you had to go deeper and edit it. So now we made it easier. So you have left section, then you have main section, and then you have the right section. So right section, check this out, all avatars here.
Nice.
So
Okay.
yes, so you can add your own avatar element and then drop head and body. One thing that I would warn you is make sure if you do, maybe if you do create your own, go to Blender and make sure that you match the pivot point for your head and for the body. Because if you don't, then your head is gonna be, wibbly wobbly or not turning correctly. But this is an example of expert created assets that can be brought into by the artist,
Yeah.
right?
I was tinkering with that too, and you can just you can bring one of the Vertex Form 3D avatars into Blender to to line up your pieces and then make sure that they have the same exact origin, is just what it's called. The pivot point is
Pivot
called
point.
in Blender. And then export your own by itself for as long as you've got the same parts
Yep.
in the same place.
But this
So
is, again, this is very basic. We did rely on Ready Player Me. We did implement them. It was working fine. Now we have to start over. I used to do 3D modeling. This is how I started. I was doing a lot of character creation, like a bunch. I created like George Washington walking and Alphaba dancing, and I did like a whole bunch. Then I kind of step away from that more like towards environments, but I can go back to that and figure out how we can make like human avatars. Any questions?
I have a question about the avatars there. Can you remove ones that you don't want from the already existing ones?
Oh yeah, yeah, over
Just
here.
click the minus sign
Yeah,
there
yeah.
and it goes away. That's very
Yep.
cool.
Yeah,
Okay.
you can. Another
Nice.
thing, and this is also brand new. I was just literally testing it today. I noticed a couple of things that we have a wording wrong, how to apply it. I'm going to talk to my engineer to change it. Like for example, you're going to be my yes, so then you would do like the background and then you don't want logo or something, like you want your own logo. I don't know what that is.
Oh, nice.
So here's the thing, like when I apply, I was like confused because I didn't check that. So we're gonna change this. The wording was a little off because you have to say discard changes, what my engineer means, but like discard our. So anyway, the wording is wrong, right? But like click on discard changes until we fixed it, okay? So then you get all this. Then you're gonna save the prefab and it should be populating the whole thing. Actually, I should have done it because I don't think I can update it. Anyway, that's fine. I already have it with GitHub, so I'm gonna discard that. What else? And then, so your logo here. And then another thing that I said, I noticed, Lori, when you were making one of the apps, you didn't want the section. So I thought that we can just add like disable or enable so you can remove it,
Nice.
not remove it. So another cool thing, any questions about that?
Not seeing any questions yet.
Comments?
Jose said awesome though. And thanks.
Cool. All right, so then,
Oh, here we got something. Oh, another awesome.
okay, so now it should populate everywhere. If did I save it? I gotta look, guys, just give me like, this is all brand new. We're gonna be testing it overall. I don't think it changed here, but I know it will. We have two different prefabs. I have to see if they should be connected or not, because we have another prefab. It's kind of the same, but not exactly the same. When you are in the addressable scene, so there's a UI will open up with the changes. So anyway, let me write it down. Where's my stuff? Okay. So next, changing the your environments, your scenes. So this has not changed from the last. You can create your own category by clicking this. So this is going to be your category, or like garden, or like classroom, right? Like I don't know what categories you guys want. You can have like no categories. You can have one and you can delete everything. It's not going to be all that needed if you want to sort them by category from the top menu. If you don't want to do that, you just can have just one environment. And then in here, environment also very easy to manipulate like that. You can just like put them around. Another thing is that
Hi, Fatima.
Oh, she's leaving?
Yeah, she says I have to leave, but I'm so excited for what you're all building. Looking forward to hearing more about your journey. You're 100% on point with focusing on making your platform accessible for the wild XR space.
Oh,
Totally
awesome.
agree. Thank you, Fatima.
Thank you. Okay, so once you are name your category, then so this is
Thank you,
important, right?
Evan. Sorry.
Bye. Thank you. So this is important. This has to match your scene name.
Scene name?
Yes. So what's that?
Is it the scene name that it has to match?
Yes, yes. So
Okay.
there are a couple of steps, and these are in tutorials. Wait, not this one. Addressable groups. So we have that in tutorials, all the steps explained. Super important steps. Without them, you will be stuck. Your environment has to be matching the name of the scene. If you go to our scene, you will go to Vertex Form. There's this is an important scene, right? Login, home, and addressable scene. And then you go to database scene, and there's examples. Let's say you want to create your completely new. You can create completely new scene, or you can copy something that we already have if you don't want to do everything brand new. For example, like we have dark space. If you want to start with something dark, if you don't want to mess up with the skybox or whatever, so start with dark space, or you can start with bright space. You just like remove all that stuff. I would recommend just making a copy, like show in Explorer, making a copy and then paste it, for example, like that. Also, treat Unity for me. It was such a long, I don't know why, but like it was such a long process, a road for me to figure out that Unity is literally just a bunch of folders, like folders and folders and folders, right? You can move things around. Like, why was I so scared to just go in Explorer and move things or rename things like normal file? Like let's say you would say rename it. You can rename it inside Unity as well, like right here. Like my
Yep.
new, like this. And now this is new, right? It doesn't exist in the framework. So you have to go in the app. So you have to come here, simplify names. It will be removing all this other stuff. And then this is important step. You have to make it fusion scene. So the fusion seal will make it multiplayer. Then manage labels, and then name it exactly the same. My new.
No, it's world,
Oh,
not
beautiful
scene.
world. See,
And you got a typo. Oh no, you're good.
I do.
Nope, I thought so. I was wrong.
Okay. Oh, sometimes you know what I do? I go like
Just
rename and
copy
then
it.
I copy it and then I
Yeah.
just paste everywhere because you don't
That's
want to
the
trust
skill.
yourself, right? My new beautiful world. So then you will mark this, so that will become the label. So that should work in multiplayer.
So you want it all to match. And this
Yeah.
is for like optimized delivery of your 3D assets. Is that right? And you've done a talk that is in the Discord that goes into more depth on addressables and what they do, right?
Mhm. I'm not sure about optimization, but it's scalability, right? Like we have two ways of delivering local, as you can see here, local and remote. So once your app starts to grow, like it becomes too big for the headset or too big for desktop, you can offload it to the cloud, which is a little more advanced. I'm not going to go into it right now. But my app, like World Expo, has a ton of environments, so we offload them into the cloud. So it's already here. Then once you do that, another thing that let's say we want that app here to be here. Like I already have it copied, like over here, I'm copied it, and then you could say here, And then you have to select the image. Doesn't really matter. Yeah, I just wanted something.
And is building addressables required, or is it just best practice?
So building addressables, we actually had a conversation yesterday. Nishal said it doesn't, like when you do desktop, you don't need to. It will. I like to build addressables myself because then I see the size of them, that there's nothing messed up. I see there was a window. They'll tell you how long it took. I like doing that, right? So let me go to that step next. So let's say you want it to be the first one, and then it'll be here. Another thing is that you want to have SDK. So on SDK, maybe we can create a whole workshop on SDK because this is just becoming too big. You would want to say player position. So player spawn point, where the player is going to spawn is right here. Wait, where's my
Gizmo, your Gizmo view is turned off in the upper right of the viewport. Oh, well, I don't see it either. But
spawn point? Wait, I have to find what happened to my my avatar. Setting favorites. Player spawn point. Because we changed, there was misspell. It was like player spawn point, so we changed that. And I think my my little guy is disappeared, so I'm gonna talk about it. I'm gonna find out what happened. Hold on, let me write it down too. There should be a little guy here with the face. Players spawn point.
live debugging.
Yeah, but this should be like wherever the blue arrow faces, this is where you will be spawning right here. And this. Okay.
Yeah, that was working in a previous talk.
Yeah. Oh, it was. Because we just did, like, I'm telling you, like yesterday we did a bunch over here. So let's say, I wonder if there's another spawn point. I don't think so. Okay. Their position player spawn point. Okay, so we can, and then you can like move it and you can say, maybe I want it to look this way or that way. So anyway.
So when this is fixed, there'll be a little blue guy that's
Yeah,
facing one
use
direction.
purple.
You can tell
Use
how purple. So you'll be able to tell where your players are going to face when they load into your scene.
I wonder what. Okay.
What happens if you
Let me
don't
debug.
have the spawn point in your scene? Does it just go
It's
to
gonna go
center?
into 000, so it doesn't
Okay.
matter. Like
Oh.
it will go into 000 position, like right here, wherever the cube is, like this. This is the 0 position, right? If you don't have spawn point, but if you do have a spawn point, it will be it's, I like it because that way, if you have an environment, you want to guide people like where they want to look or like where they want to spawn, so you don't have to rotate the whole environment around 0 point. I like the spawn point.
Irina says, this is great. Can I have this recording as a tutorial? And if
Okay,
you're in our Discord,
you
Evie,
said what?
Irina wants a recording of this
Yes.
talk. So there's going to be one on in the Discord.
Yep.
There's a whole meetings recordings channel in there.
Yep.
And then it's on your, is it also on your YouTube?
It will be. I usually put on my YouTube. Yeah. So then usually I like to, I mean, I don't like it. We usually test it from the login scene. I know I have it on my roadmap to drop something temporarily to make it work. But usually it's a little more complicated. But anyway, so I'm usually logging in here because that way you will be connecting all the dots. Oh, there's a whole chain that connects you to Photon, right? So that's why we're always going from the login scene, and then you're gonna spawn into your environment.
And Ray also says, thank you for implementing the spawn point. It's such a huge help for a space where you want to guide the experience.
To see
Absolutely.
she's facing the even though we don't have that little guy, it still works.
Facing the way it would have been if it was in
Yeah.
there, and it will be later,
This
right?
reminds me of Joanne. Joanne, did you know that when I was making her, I was thinking of you?
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, this is
That's
you.
so nice.
I have a whole bunch of like whoever will like around my was like, oh, let me think. There's Mark. There's one Mark Jill. He was kind of around, so I made him, and Arjun was one of them, and then made myself. It's a whole bunch of stuff. Anyway,
Nice.
what else? So now you understand how the worlds are adding, right? Once you do the first initial setup, you're going to be flowing. It's going to be easy. It's going to start getting more natural. The most complicated probably will be the setup, making sure your computer is correctly, has all the drivers. It's communicating with especially the headsets will give you some trouble, but because we already have desktop, it's going to be more like easier, I think, to start with for you. So another thing, I kind of want to go over a couple of other things. So in the creator toolkit, if you want to make an area a teleportation area, right? Like you will like create, for example, bring a you brought a floor from somewhere, from like 3D asset that you purchased somewhere. And then you go here and then you go make teleportation area. Once you make teleportation area, it will attach the scripts and your avatar will be jumping here like properly, right? Can be teleporting. You can do make grabbable. Another thing, Lance, are you here? I see you here. Can you hear me? Because I did something what you asked for.
Yes, Lance is here.
I haven't tested it yet, but this one is something that he asked, and actually I don't think just him, I also wanted that stuff. But I haven't tested it, guys, in VR. I already see the buttons messed up, but what it's gonna do is you click on the button, then Susan will disappear, and then you click again, Susan will appear. Because I know he was talking about some kind of door or wall he wanted to do that. So you can use it as example, then swap um, the models like into whatever you have the model. Like if you have a wall or something, then you can remove this thing and it should work. Okay. So
Nice.
we have a whole bunch of those stuff. Make grabbable. If there is an object that you want people grab, you can grab it. If you want people to, if they drop it, and then you want it to respawn, it will be brought back. And I know, Ray, remember you had the problem with the stuff floating away? I think we fixed it because did we fix it?
Yes, Ray says.
I think we did. Maybe if not, then I'll fix. I remember we had to enable e-kinematic. Well, that's why we need community to help us to like figure out all the problems. What else? Anyway, so try to play with all this stuff. We have presentation. Oh, another thing we just added. This is new. It's also I need it for my new app that I'm working. Lori, I don't remember who said that. Like for example, I don't want my main map in my new app at all, right? So what we're gonna be doing, I'm gonna show it to you. So this is a new app I'm working for the Tech Alliance of South of Florida. So what we're gonna have is this kind of be futuristic environments for like all the groups in the area, and then this is going to be AI over here. So I don't want because we don't we don't want users to be. It's going to be very private. We're going to have a code. You can enter by code, like you enter in the code, and then you will be able to go through the environment. And then this, like for example, I don't want main map at all. So main map will not be available to public users, only to people who are like authorized to go in there. And so that's why I don't want main map. And I was thinking that we can have an avatar spawn like right here. So we have to be, it's not gonna show because it's gonna be on let me see. It's gonna be spawning on play, but kind of like think that this is here. So this is where avatars are. They're not gonna be showing because they're gonna be at runtime. So I was thinking to put like avatar selection here. So it doesn't have the main map, but it has avatar and the mirror, like this, for example.
Nice.
So this is a little more like I'm probably gonna overwhelm our newcomers here, so I don't want to go too much deeper into that. But this is a new addition. It has to work in home only because it requires all the home components. So it's not gonna work here yet. It needs to have home components. Speaking of home
Yeah.
components, I
Oh,
also was
I'm just
that
gonna say you've got a lot of enthusiasm for the interactable tools that you just covered.
yeah.
Ray and Lance both already have use cases for them. So, and this area is like like you're working on it. Is that right?
Yep. Yeah. Still working on that. And this can be a lot, and this can be some features gonna be paid features, right? We can't possibly give everything for free, maybe like essential. I know that Joanna asked for the screen sharing. I think this is essential. I already talked to my engineer and he said that it's possible. So he was able to work on it before. So we're going to look if we can do that screen sharing as a part of this toolkit.
Yeah. Joanne had a really good question. They're looking for ways to eventually monetize an event.
Mm-hmm.
And asking, so are you saying I could put an object in front of a room that they have to have a special code for, and I'll be able to change that code for each event?
I'm thinking, yes, I'm thinking to have the code in here as well, like a code protected space. What happening is right now, what our like long-term vision is to create a backend. Like think about GoDaddy, right? Like think about DigitalOcean, right? So the front end is your app, the front end your own website, but the back end you go to like GoDaddy and you are like doing all kinds of stuff in the back end, right? So this is what we want to be. So something that we don't get involved in, like stuff like that lives on your computer, you are responsible for it, we don't have anything to do with it. But something that we're going to be responsible for example, hosting your events, like storing your avatar data, user authentication, making sure the users can come in and you can make them host, co-host, moderator, kick people out, pretty much all of the stuff that like Outspace had. So that's the backend support that we're working on, and that will be a paid service because we'll have to be maintaining it all the time, like nonstop, and being responsible for a lot of stuff. This is our long-term vision. And as far as the marketplace, the paid tickets, like for example, you don't want people to just give them a code randomly, then you have to go change the code. You want to do it easy on the back end, right? You don't want to constantly go into Unity and like, let's make a new build with a new code. You want to do it like kind of automatically from the back end. But this is like another conversation. But yeah, I do want to do simple code. I do want to have screen sharing. I think that's important. Maybe a couple of other things, and then we're going to start trying to add a little more paid, either like one-time paid. I don't know if I want to do subscription until it's like the whole thing is ready, like the backend is ready. We'll see. You tell me what you guys would like to contribute. Um, I'd like to hear any ideas.
Lance had a question about hiding a button. That might be under the umbrella you just said is like future or advanced conversation.
Hiding a button in terms of
Yeah, I'm not sure. Lance, was it your question in relation to Joanne's idea of using a code? Like so basically like mod or host tools.
These are all moderated tools that are all going to come with backend because all that stuff is not baked into here. It has to have API calls, it has to be backend, it has to be running 24/7. It's all going to be like a part of the something with spatial or Altspace has, but this is all kind of backend. Is it all GoDaddy meets DigitalOcean? Like this is how I see it. So next. But again, this is what we're talking about right now. It's a standalone stuff that you own the platform. Next. So yeah, go ahead and look. So we have a bunch of stuff that you can create, scene switching, because sometimes, for example, you don't want, as I said in my other app, we don't want UI in first. So I wanted them to like bump into the wall, or they want to cross the threshold and then they switch into the scene. So we can do stuff from here. Another thing that probably a couple of things I'm going to focus on right now, because this is pretty much covering the whole process, is that making environment into the lobby, login scene, and home scene. So they require components. New home. Let's say you, I'm sorry, I wanted to do login scene too. Let's say you wanna, maybe you purchase an asset that is looking really good. Like for example, hold on, let me go over here. Let me go. Wait, okay, hold on. I just got this asset. Let me see.
Tink had some good feedback that they're hearing from their group that people are having subscription overwhelm and would rather do one-time payments or yearly.
Yeah,
Yeah, same.
I think we all are. So login, new login scene. I don't know how, but just make sure that your login don't have your scene has unique name, right? If you have the scene that is the same name as something else in the different folder, it's gonna clash. It's not gonna know where your stuff is. So this is the asset that I got, and I'm thinking to turn it into the home environment. So check this out. It's pretty cool.
Aya is saying they have to head out. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
And yeah, everybody connect with your LinkedIn and professional links in the chat, please.
Yep. So like I want to do something fun like this for the home, for the login
Oh,
scene.
that's so pretty.
Now don't steal that. Okay. Something like that. This is a brand new asset that it's not set up as login yet. And I want to make sure that I am removing main camera. I'm removing canvas, event system. So just keep the assets here. And then once you're done, you go to Vertex Form 3D developer tool, make login scene. So once you make login scene, this will bring in all that stuff that's in the login scene. Right? So you can just don't move the stuff. Move the stuff around the login scene, not the panel itself, right? Because there's a lot of stuff that needs to be connected together. So make sure that it's on above the platform, for example. I just want to make sure I haven't cleaned this asset yet, so I don't know what's inside. There might be some assets inside that will prevent us, but this is how you turn an environment into a login scene. So see, it's not working yet because I have to just work around it because I removed a bunch of stuff. But it's here, right? So maybe we are. Hold on, let me see if I can. Let me see if I can just lower it a little bit. Oh, okay, so it's here. Oh, the particles are not starting. So this why this is okay. The particle not starting because I have to make them float. Okay, so this is gonna be my login scene, okay? Like new login scene, for example.
That's so gorgeous.
Yeah, so this is my new app. Again, you see that this is all customized. Connect with name, connect anonymously, as always. But then another thing for you not to forget how to build. I don't want to have time to show you how to build real quick. Okay, I don't want to go. So you have to be dropping it here, right, in the build settings. Make sure that this is number one. If you will be testing, you'll be fine. But once you build, you're gonna be Unity will think that not this scene is login. It's like a different one. So anyway, so login scene needs to be here. Home scene needs to be second. The same thing you can do with home scene. Let's say home scene is the second scene. So first one is login, you connect your name, then you go to home. If there is a new environment that you want to make home, you can go DevTools and make home. So once you make home, login and home, they cannot be together. Once you make home, it will drop this UI, this one, right? So the home will drop all of the assets that you need. And all you have to do is start editing all that stuff, and then make sure that your new home is second. Login first, new home second. And then addressable, don't touch. So this is addressable is going to be all of your other scenes. You can have 100 of them. All addressables will have to be configured through here. Okay. And all the addressable have a ton of managers, a ton of scripts that are working well together. Anyway, so
We're
let's.
just a little bit over the hour. Sorry, go ahead.
Yes, I'm seeing. I mean, I plugged in a little bit over hour for the meetup, so I understand if somebody has to drop out, that's fine. But let me quickly show you how to make a build. Once you have everything set up, go ahead and don't do much customization once you just have the framework, except for photon key. Don't customize anything. Play and then make a build. Make sure that it's all built well, maybe even make a copy, and then start messing with this. Like try to figure out how
Make sure it works
it
first.
works first. Yeah.
Yeah.
Once you do build, it will open up the window like this. You can create a folder. It's not going to be here. Build is not going to be here. So you'll have to do new folder, builds, and then select the folder, right? To your question, if we should build addressables. Nishal said that we don't have to, but I like it. I like building it because I am just used to it. It's in the tutorial as well. Before you do the main build, you click on build addressable. So what that means is that all of the environments that you added here, they're gonna be kind of compiling. The Unity will build them. The Unity will make sure that all the scripts, all the assets kind of bake together. And it will take, yesterday it took me an hour. So that process took an hour. So leave it alone, then you will see a window pop up with addressable report. We had a little bit of a bug that we run into, which we're gonna investigate. It's better if you will do build addressables, make sure that your login scene open. Okay, that's the only thing I would recommend you to do because we're investigating a small bug. So if you have a login scene, this is better. Once you build addressables, you can go to build profile, build as I showed you, select folder. I don't want to select it because it's going to start a build process. Once you select the folder, it'll take maybe another hour or so. For the first time, second time and third time is going to be like very quick. Unless you're adding a bunch of new environments, it's going to take time. What happened is that you will get all these folders once you do the build. And one of them, they're going to be this. For me, I did not change the logo, but once you change the logo to your logo, it will show up here. And then it will say your app name. So this is where the stuff, this is how you start the app, the desktop app.
Joanne has another really good question.
Yeah.
When you build your first world, can the second world be easily connected via a portal? Or do you just put them in your UI? I think both are options. Like the whole hub is built to be a portal, a hub of portals to all your spaces, but you could also connect scenes.
So everything is done inside Unity. Build process is just a way for you to build it. So if once you're done building it, you can't add, like in Altspace, maybe I understand what you mean. Like in Altspace, you can drop a portal and kind of go and stuff like that. But like Altspace and VRChat, they all one massive app, right? Everybody's building on top of the same architecture, and then you can connect worlds through the portal. Here, it's I'm not sure if I'm explaining correctly, but
I think you just like because I interrupted while you were talking about building addressables and building your whole project for, the application to run. Um, I, I, I I think that Joanna is talking about when you create your first world, can you easily connect a second world via a portal, and that's your hub does that. It serves as a waypoint, and you can bring up the hub in different scenes, right? As long as they're set up correctly.
So all the environments before you start building, they all have to be pre-configured here.
Okay, and that's
They,
what that was for. You
yeah,
you went through this
yes.
so we can review that step in the
Yeah.
video
Once
when it comes out.
once you build, like once you create the build, everything that you put in here are gonna be baked into your build. It's gonna be baked. It's gonna be standalone app. You cannot edit inside the build. Not yet, right? Because we don't have all this fancy stuff there in the back end. But before you are making this build, right? You have to make sure all your worlds are here, and we have different ways of connecting them, different ways. You can have them show up on the UI, but you sometimes don't want to. You want a secret world that's not showing up on the UI, that you want to have a portal. Like you can say, okay, I don't want this. This is for the uh, this section is for the main map, right? This is where I say main UI database. You do have to have all the worlds before you build in the addressable groups right here. If you don't have them, they're not gonna work. So there's
Well, they're just not going to be in the application that
they're
gets
not gonna
built.
be baked into the application yet. They're not gonna be in Unity will not know that I wanna build those as well.
But you can add more later and then rebuild it, but
You
then
you have
people
to
have to.
rebuild it. Yes, you can't. You have to rebuild it, right? So
Okay.
Unity is the standalone engine. Your app is here, so you're building it. You are telling Unity, okay, so grab this, grab this. Right now, the process is you put everything here. Let's say you want to create a portal scene switching. So we have create scene switching UI, create switching teleport. Okay, so let's say you don't wanna people to go through UI, go through main map. You wanna have them like through a black hole or whatever. I already have that. All you have to do is go here and then put the scene name here. The scene name has to be exactly matching. And it has to be in the addressables. And then you can turn on fly mode. If you want people to fly, you can turn it on. And the same thing for the database also. We have a fly mode gizmo here. If you want people to fly, just toggle this and people are going to be flying.
And that you could put that portal, you can put it like behind a door or something if you just want to.
You can make the door into the scene switching teleport
Aha,
because
okay.
we have that. You can have like cube, for example, like cube. So you can go favorites and then you can make blah, 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 scene switching, make, so you will make it, right? So once you click on it, others, that script will get attached and then you put the same thing, the name of the scene where you want to go. So once you bump into it, you'll switch the scene. The UI, I don't think I've tested UI yet, but this is also another thing that the same thing. We have UI right here, scene name, and then you'll just go there, right? So 3 ways. So a bunch of different, we think of everything because every time I'm thinking, I'm like, oh, I want this, I want this. Because guys, you just have to remember, the artists are not what we want to create is the way for you to make money and work with businesses and building platforms, right? So you are making money as a business owner, as a business, as the creator of the platform, then the people are either paying you for events, or either you are making the whole app for school, for college, for businesses, or you have your own community that you're building it for, and then the community kind of like contributes to your to your platform. So this is a different approach to what most platforms are out there were kind of doing.
And so in that respect, what you would be charging for is the app, the final built product, right?
No,
So
no,
you don't need a pay gate inside of the app. You can just sell your app, right?
is like for the creators. The
Yeah.
final, it depends on what you want to do, right? You can like, for example, I have different projects I'm working on as a creator, right? As a 3D artist. So I have schools I'm working on, I have communities I'm working on, I have businesses I'm working on, and they want customization. They don't know anything, right? And you can charge whatever you want for your time, for your creation, for your creativity, how you're going to customize it, right? Depending on the size of the app. But then, so I am working with two ways. I work as a creator, and also I'm working thinking about the back end, because I do need access. A lot of paid services, like for example, we're going to be purchasing storage from Google. We're going to be purchasing AI from OpenAI. We're going to purchasing API key from something else. So you don't want to run right now. I'm running around all kinds of places. We have AI. I'm taking API key from here. So we want to have everything under one roof. So you don't have to run around like crazy person connecting everything all together, right? Because connecting Google storage, oh, that was a whole different idea. So anyway, I think, Laura, am I missing anything else? Do you remember? Oh, settings UI. So this is a new setting UI. Oh, this is important.
Nice.
You can decide how you want it to be, on or off, mute, near, decide, right? Customizable. You can also, this is the coolest thing. Remember how I told you that we get 20 free CCU players from Photon. However, there is a choice to be made. If you want the user to see players in the room, then you will get only 10. Why? Because then we have splitting our free quota into half and half, because then when you're in the home environment and you see this UI, it's kind of separate from addressable. So we have to use 10 to see where all other people are, and then another 10 when we go into room, and then there are 10 people, right? But we did it, yes, like I was asking my engineers, like, what if people don't care? They don't want to see how many people. I like to see, because if you have a world hopping event, you want to know where people are, right? So they can find you. I like that. But then I get 10. But if you don't care, you can use 20, then people are not going to see where people are, okay? You can just tell them, find us in like this environment. If you think you're going to have like more than 10 people in the event, then just like turn it off. Or feel free to pay for Photon, for advanced package, it's $50 a month for CCU player, $50 a month for the voice. So that will be $100 a month to have like, I don't know, 1,000 people.
Yeah, if you want to expand how many players you can
Once you
have.
start expanding, once you start making money, once your platform's growing, you're gonna start adding the services, and that's gonna be in the budget for you. Okay, but yeah, this is a new feature. And then package updater. So right now we have a little bit of a hiccup over here. Our formatting got messed up, but it should be fine. If you already installed that package before, Lori and Lance, I don't know who else did it. You will get all of this through the package updater. So those little bugs that I found today, I'm going to be also adding. And then once you install it, it should come from package updater, right? You click on it, and then all the new stuff will come in. And it's pretty cool because, like, for example, I have my new app. I'm like, okay, a package updater. This is the same. I click on it, and all my apps are going to be updated.
That is super cool, super convenient.
It will, if you already have it. It might overwrite your main UI if you made changes, just because if you saw how much stuff we did, and this will be easier to edit. But I have to see why it didn't change in the home environment. Okay, give me this weekend, maybe next week, I'm gonna post when we're gonna fix the remaining.
But when you run it when you run the updater, it will bring up the little package.
Yes, it will.
So you can disable things you don't want to overwrite.
Yeah. It will come up a little window like new update is available. Okay. I think it's okay from me. Anything else? Any questions? And our past meetups, I'm gonna record it, I'm gonna put on YouTube. Today was more desktop. If you want more VR, it's gonna be our past meetups, more kind of like towards how to do VR. But the tutorials on the website should be covering it. Then give me like a weekend or so. I will, by next week, I'm gonna clean it up and update. But start playing with this and build apps. One last thing. Hold on. Almost forgot. Once you do that, you will get this big pile of stuff, right? There is a very important little step we don't want to forget. There are a couple of, I'm gonna drop this one. This is how you compile it and then share this with your friends or put it on your website. This is how people download it. We use Inno compiler. Is it the same? Okay, can you see that one? This video. So Inno setup. So once you go through that tutorial and then you go through Inno setup, you will get this. Don't be scared. Super easy. You don't have to do anything. You will name the app, give this a number or whatever, and then you will compile it. I think it's over here. It will tell in the tutorials. It will tell. Once you compile it, just make sure that you delete. Guys, I hope I'm not gonna overwhelm you. It's not. It's fine. We're here for you. You just make sure that you delete ones that do not ship. It said do not ship, do not ship. So you remove those, delete them, or like move them somewhere else, and run through Inno compiler only this package. Then it will spit out the output. The output there will be just one file. It will kind of be everything will be compiled into. It will be like an output folder. Just it will be just one file, and all of that stuff will be built into that file. I might create a separate tutorial on that, but this is how you will be sharing that up. Okay, if you don't, then everything else will be left behind if you don't compile it. But if you compile it, that one file is what people usually download from the websites. Okay. And next week we'll fix all the remaining bugs, and we're gonna go full force on the web. We're already looking into WebXR as well. I was the judge for the police, which was super cool. Most of this was WebXR, so I was testing. It was super fun, so I got lots of ideas from there. And yeah.
Very cool.
Any questions, suggestions?
I still hope to work with you on WebXR as well. I just got it working in my platform. So
Oh, cool. Yeah, if you want to help us or yeah.
we can talk about that later.
Yeah. All right. Thank you guys. I'm gonna
Thank you,
see
everybody.
you hopefully soon and see all your apps.
Yes,
Thank you
thank
guys.
you.